Gears up to reopen. San Antonio's top health officials are preparing guidelines to move forward safely. Eyewitness News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry joins us live with details. Jaleesa.
Yeah, the health transition team is recommending a 4-phase plan to reopen San Antonio. Now, they say we are currently in the first phase, but in the second phase, we would be opening up specific businesses with limited capacity, like what the governor announced yesterday. Now, the phase in San Antonio recommends keeping mass gatherings closed, but allowing small social gatherings of less than 50 people, preferably outdoors. Now, phase 3 would be another easement of restrictions, like opening up additional businesses and not limiting capacity as much. Phase 4 would be preparedness, so increasing readiness for the next public threat.
We recognize that reopening of any sort in San Antonio and Bexar County requires careful consideration of the risk and will bring risk. We acknowledge that. But there are ways that we can know that we are headed in the right direction.
Now, even as the city slowly reopens, city health officials are still recommending you wear those masks out in public, even when you're out in a restaurant, except for, of course, when you're eating or drinking. We're live on the city's northwest side. Jaleesa Irizarry, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.